If you're noticing bald patches in the middle of your head or around the edges, losing hair in large clumps, or your hair is breaking, thinning, or suddenly turning gray in spots where it never did before, you may be experiencing hair loss. Many people assume this simply happens because they are getting older, but that is not always the case. While aging can contribute to hair loss, many everyday habits can actually speed up the process and cause hair thinning much earlier than expected. In this video, I will share 3 habits you should stop immediately because they may be damaging your hair and causing unnecessary hair loss. Avoiding these habits can help you begin restoring thicker, healthier hair. But before we discuss those 3 things, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. First, let's talk about something many people ignore, but that plays a huge role in hair health. One of the most important steps is prioritizing your protein and iron intake. What you eat directly affects how strong, thick, and healthy your hair grows. Unfortunately, this is often overlooked when people first start noticing hair loss. Since hair is primarily made of keratin, which is a type of protein, it's essential to eat meals that are rich in protein and contain enough iron to properly support hair growth. As we grow older, our protein absorption efficiency drops significantly. And this is a problem because lack of adequate protein makes your hair strands weaker, thinner, and far more prone to breakage and shedding. But protein alone is not the only nutrient that determines hair growth. Iron is just as important, and iron deficiency is one of the most common causes of hair thinning in older women in particular. This is because iron helps red blood cells deliver oxygen to your hair follicles. And without that oxygen supply, your follicles become weak, dormant, and unable to produce strong new strands. Make sure you check your ferritin levels with your doctor, and in the meantime, start eating more foods that are naturally rich in both protein and iron every single day. Here are 3 simple protein-rich recipes to get you started. For the first one, scramble 3 whole eggs in a pan with a little olive oil. Fold in half a cup of cottage cheese just before the eggs fully set. Season with a pinch of black pepper and a sprinkle of fresh chives. And enjoy this warm and filling breakfast every morning, as eggs are one of the richest sources of biotin and complete protein available to us. For the second recipe, cook half a cup of quinoa in 1 cup of low-sodium chicken broth until fully absorbed. Stir in 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter and a squeeze of lemon juice. Top with a handful of shredded grilled chicken breast and serve warm as a deeply nourishing lunch that delivers a powerful dose of complete protein to your hair follicles. For the third recipe, blend 1 scoop of plain Greek yogurt with half a cup of edamame, a tablespoon of tahini, a squeeze of lemon, and a pinch of garlic powder until smooth and creamy. Then spread it over whole grain crackers or use it as a dip for raw vegetables, giving your body a steady and sustained release of plant and dairy protein throughout the afternoon. Now, here are 3 iron-rich recipes to pair with those. For the first one, saute a large handful of fresh spinach and half a cup of sliced mushrooms in olive oil with 2 cloves of garlic until wilted and tender. Toss in half a cup of cooked lentils. Season with cumin and a squeeze of lemon to enhance iron absorption, and serve over brown rice for a complete and deeply iron-rich meal. For the second recipe, slow cook 1 cup of kidney beans with diced tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, and a generous pinch of turmeric and paprika for about 30 minutes until thick and hearty. Then serve warm with a side of whole grain bread, as legumes are one of the most accessible and affordable sources of plant-based iron available to seniors. For the third recipe, lightly pan-sear a small piece of beef liver in olive oil with sliced onions and a pinch of thyme until just cooked through. Serve it alongside steamed broccoli and a wedge of lemon, and enjoy it once or twice a week because liver is arguably the single most concentrated natural source of iron and B12 on the planet, and will do more for your hair than almost any supplement on the market. And speaking of nutrients that grow hair, if you want a complete collection of recipes specifically designed to stop hair loss and grow thick, healthy hair, I have put together an ebook called 100 Recipes for Killing Hair Loss and Growing Hair, and it covers everything your hair needs to thrive. It is packed with recipes rich in protein, magnesium, collagen, B12, and every other hair-growing nutrient your body needs at this stage of life, with options for both vegetarians and non-vegetarians, simple preparation methods, and ingredients you can find at any grocery store. You can grab your copy from the pinned comment below or through the link in the description, and your hair will thank you for it within weeks of making these recipes a regular part of your routine. After making sure that you prioritize protein and iron intake, you must make sure not to skip this next thing, because skipping it will undo years of consistent good diet, and you will continue to lose your hair even if you eat well and prioritize protein and iron every single day. Number 2 is to optimize your vitamin D levels. This is one of the most silently devastating nutritional deficiencies among seniors. And the vast majority of older adults have no idea they are deficient, or that their deficiency is directly connected to the hair they are losing every day. The reason so many seniors lack vitamin D comes down to a combination of factors that all converge with age. As you get older, your skin becomes less efficient at synthesizing vitamin D from sunlight. Your kidneys become less effective at converting it into its active, usable form. And many seniors simply spend less time outdoors than they once did, further reducing their already limited sun exposure. The result is that a large portion of the senior population is walking around with critically low vitamin D levels and attributing the consequences, fatigue, bone weakness, and yes, significant hair loss entirely to old age. Here is what most people do not know. Vitamin D plays a direct and critical role in hair growth by activating dormant hair follicles. Your scalp contains vitamin D receptors. And when vitamin D binds to these receptors, it essentially wakes up follicles that have gone quiet and stop producing new hair. When your vitamin D levels are low, those follicles remain dormant. New hair growth slows dramatically. Existing strands become thin and fragile, and shedding accelerates at a rate that no amount of protein or iron can fully compensate for. This is why so many seniors who eat well and take care of themselves still struggle with persistent hair thinning. Their follicles are simply not being activated. A study published in the journal Skin Pharmacology and Physiology found a significant link between vitamin D deficiency and hair loss in women, with researchers discovering that lower vitamin D levels were directly associated with more severe hair shedding and slower regrowth, confirming that vitamin D receptor activity is essential for initiating and maintaining the hair growth cycle in older adults. When it comes to getting enough vitamin D, food sources include fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, egg yolks, fortified dairy products, fortified orange juice, and mushrooms that have been exposed to sunlight. For supplements, the most important thing to know is that vitamin D3 is always more effective than D2, and it should always be taken with a meal that contains healthy fat, because vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin and cannot be properly absorbed without it. Most seniors benefit from between 1,000 and 2,000 IU daily, but always consult your doctor to test your levels and determine the right dose for your specific needs. Here are 3 vitamin D-rich recipes to add to your routine right away. For the first one, pan-sear a salmon fillet in olive oil with a squeeze of lemon, minced garlic, and a pinch of dill until golden and cooked through. Then serve it alongside roasted asparagus and a soft poached egg, giving you 3 sources of vitamin D in a single beautifully balanced meal. For the second recipe, sauté sliced portobello mushrooms that have been left gill-side up in direct sunlight for at least 30 minutes in butter and garlic until deeply golden. Then fold them into a warm bowl of scrambled eggs with a sprinkle of cheese, creating a simple and deeply nourishing breakfast rich in natural vitamin D. For the third recipe, flake 2 cans of sardines into a bowl. Mix them with diced red onion, cherry tomatoes, a drizzle of olive oil, lemon juice, and fresh parsley. Then serve over whole grain toast for a quick, affordable, and extraordinarily vitamin D-rich lunch that your hair follicles will immediately benefit from. Number 3 is poor hydration. This is one of the simplest and most underestimated causes of hair loss in seniors, and yet it is one of the easiest to fix. Every single strand of hair on your head is made up of approximately 25% water. And when your body is consistently dehydrated, it immediately redirects whatever water is available to your most critical organs, your heart, your brain, your kidneys, leaving your hair follicles completely dry, weak, and unable to produce strong, healthy strands. The result is hair that breaks easily, grows slowly, sheds excessively, and loses its natural shine and thickness over time. The reason so many seniors struggle with poor hydration is that the sensation of thirst diminishes significantly with age. Older adults genuinely do not feel thirsty the way younger people do, which means they go hours without drinking water without realizing it, accumulating a hydration deficit that quietly damages their hair, skin, and overall health every single day. Here are 3 simple ways to make sure you are getting your daily required water intake consistently. First, place a full glass of water on your bedside table every night, and drink it first thing every morning before you do anything else, establishing hydration as the very first act of your day. Second, set a gentle alarm on your phone every 2 hours as a reminder to take several sips of water, because without a prompt, your thirst sensation simply will not remind you. And third, eat your water by incorporating high water content foods into every meal, because food-based hydration is just as effective as drinking water directly and is often easier for seniors to maintain consistently. 3 fruits with exceptionally high water content that are perfect for seniors are watermelon, cucumber, and strawberries. For your watermelon juice, blend 2 cups of fresh seedless watermelon chunks until smooth. Add a squeeze of lime and a few fresh mint leaves and drink it chilled throughout the afternoon. For your cucumber juice, blend 1 whole peeled cucumber with half a cup of cold water, a pinch of sea salt, and a squeeze of lemon until completely smooth. Then strain and sip it slowly. For your strawberry juice, blend 1 cup of fresh strawberries with half a cup of coconut water and a teaspoon of honey until silky smooth. Then pour over ice and enjoy it as a deeply hydrating and delicious daily drink. If you do all of these consistently and well, you will grow your hair back in a very short period of time. And from my research and the results I have seen from over 500 women, I have helped stop hair loss. The 3 things that can cause you to lose your hair, no matter what supplements or hair care products you use, are the following. Number 1 is not controlling your blood sugar. High blood sugar is one of the most prevalent conditions among seniors today. And the vast majority of older adults either do not know they have it, do not take it seriously enough, or have no idea that it is one of the top 3 reasons they are losing their hair. As we age, our cells become less responsive to insulin, our pancreas becomes less efficient at producing it, and decades of dietary habits begin to catch up with us in ways that show up not just on medical tests, but visibly on our bodies, including on our scalps. Here's exactly how high blood sugar destroys your hair. When blood sugar levels remain consistently elevated, they damage the small blood vessels throughout your body. And this damage is particularly devastating for your hair follicles. Hair follicles depend entirely on microirculation, the network of tiny blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients directly to each follicle to survive and produce new hair. When high blood sugar damages these vessels, that delivery system breaks down. Follicles become starved of the nutrients they need. They weaken and shrink, and hair loss accelerates dramatically. No shampoo, no hair oil, and no supplement can override this damage if your blood sugar remains uncontrolled. On top of this, high blood sugar triggers chronic inflammation throughout the body, which further disrupts the hair growth cycle and pushes more follicles into the shedding phase simultaneously. A study published in the journal Skin Appendage Disorders found a significant association between insulin resistance, high blood sugar, and androgenetic hair loss in both men and women, with researchers concluding that blood sugar management should be considered a core component of any serious hair restoration strategy, particularly in older adults. Here are 4 practical ways to start controlling your blood sugar beginning today. First, limit refined sugar and processed carbohydrates as strictly as possible because white bread, white rice, pastries, and sugary drinks cause rapid blood sugar spikes that damage your vessels with every single meal. Second, never eat carbohydrates alone. Always pair them with protein, healthy fat, or fiber to slow the release of sugar into your bloodstream. Third, take a 10 to 15 minute walk after your largest meal of the day, as post-meal movement is one of the most effective and immediate ways to lower blood sugar naturally. And fourth, eat smaller, more frequent meals rather than 2 or 3 large ones, as this keeps your blood sugar stable and prevents the dangerous spikes and crashes that damage your microcirculation over time. Now here are 3 foods that are exceptionally powerful at controlling blood sugar, along with a simple recipe for each. The first is bitter melon, one of nature's most potent blood sugar regulators. Slice 1 small bitter melon thinly. Sauté it in olive oil with diced onions, 2 cloves of garlic, and a pinch of turmeric until tender. Then serve it warm over brown rice as a deeply medicinal and satisfying meal that actively lowers blood sugar with every bite. The second food is cinnamon, which improves insulin sensitivity remarkably well. Stir 1 teaspoon of pure sun cinnamon into a warm cup of unsweetened oat milk. Add a teaspoon of honey and a pinch of cardamom and drink it every morning before breakfast to gently prime your body for better blood sugar regulation throughout the entire day. The third food is avocado, which is rich in healthy fats and fiber that slow sugar absorption powerfully. Mash 1 ripe avocado with a squeeze of lemon, a pinch of sea salt, and diced tomatoes. Spread it generously over whole grain toast and top it with a poached egg for a complete breakfast that keeps your blood sugar steady and your hair follicles well nourished for hours. Number 2 is not protecting your hair from the sun. Most seniors think about sunscreen for their skin without ever stopping to consider that the very same sun causing age spots and skin damage is doing equal, if not greater damage to their hair every single day. This is one of the most commonly overlooked causes of hair thinning and breakage in older adults, and simply stepping outside without any form of hair protection day after day accumulates damage that compounds over months and years into significant and visible hair loss. Here's exactly what the sun does to your hair. The ultraviolet rays from the sun, specifically UVA and UVB rays, penetrate the hair shaft and break down the proteins that give your hair its strength and structure, including keratin, the very same protein your hair is made of. This protein degradation makes individual strands brittle, dry, and extremely prone to snapping and breaking. UV exposure also damages the outer protective layer of the hair shaft known as the cuticle, causing it to lift and crack, which leads to frizz, dryness, split ends, and accelerated thinning. But perhaps most critically for seniors, prolonged sun exposure damages the DNA within hair follicle cells themselves, disrupting the hair growth cycle at its root and causing follicles to produce thinner, weaker strands with every successive growth cycle until some stop producing altogether. The reason seniors are particularly vulnerable is that aging hair already has a thinner cuticle, reduced natural oil production from the scalp, and lower melanin levels. And melanin, the pigment that gives hair its color, actually provides some natural protection against UV damage. As hair goes gray and white with age, that natural defense disappears entirely, leaving older hair completely exposed and unprotected against the sun's rays. A study published in the International Journal of Trichology confirmed that chronic ultraviolet exposure significantly degraded hair fiber proteins, reduced hair tensile strength, and accelerated hair aging, with researchers strongly recommending physical protection as a primary strategy for preserving hair integrity in older adults. Here are 3 simple and effective ways seniors can protect their hair from the sun every day. First, wear a wide-brimmed hat whenever you step outside, as this is the single most effective and immediate form of protection available. Second, apply a leave-in conditioner or hair serum that contains UV filters before going outdoors, creating a protective barrier directly on the hair shaft. And third, try to limit direct sun exposure during peak UV hours between 10 a.m. and 300 p.m., scheduling outdoor activities for early morning or late afternoon whenever possible. Number 3 is skipping hair trims. This is a habit that seems completely harmless on the surface. After all, if you are already losing hair, why would you cut more of it off? This is the exact reasoning that leads so many seniors to avoid trims altogether. And it is unfortunately one of the most counterproductive decisions you can make for the long-term health and growth of your hair. Skipping regular trims does not preserve your hair. It destroys it slowly and silently from the ends upward. Here is exactly what happens when you skip trims. Every strand of hair develops split ends over time as a result of friction, heat, dryness, styling, and environmental damage. When a split end is left untreated, it does not stay at the tip of the strand. It travels upward along the hair shaft, splitting the strand further and further toward the root with every passing week. This progressive splitting makes the entire strand structurally weak, causing it to snap and break at various points along its length rather than falling naturally at the root. The result is hair that appears increasingly thin, uneven, and sparse. Not because new hair has stopped growing, but because existing strands are continuously breaking before they ever reach a healthy length. For seniors whose hair is already more fragile, more prone to dryness, and slower growing than it once was, untreated split ends are particularly devastating because the damage travels faster and the hair has less resilience to withstand it. The reason many seniors avoid regular trims is easy to understand. Some feel that going to a salon is too expensive, physically exhausting, or simply unnecessary at this stage of life. Others believe that avoiding scissors will help them keep their hair longer, without realizing that split ends actually cause more breakage and loss of length than a simple trim ever would. Research published in the Journal of Cosmetic Science found that the progression of split ends can greatly weaken the strength and structure of hair fibers over time. The researchers concluded that regular trimming is one of the most effective mechanical ways to maintain hair length, density, and overall hair fiber health. What you should do instead is schedule a light trim of about 1/4 to 1/2 inch every 8 to 12 weeks consistently. There's no need for a major haircut, just enough to remove the split ends before they continue traveling up the hair shaft. You can also ask your stylist for what is known as a dusting trim, which focuses only on removing damaged ends. In addition, keep your hair ends moisturized daily with a small amount of natural oil such as argan oil or castor oil. Treat your ends as the oldest and most delicate part of your hair, because they truly are. Another important cause of hair loss is wearing the same hairstyle all the time, which can lead to traction alopecia. Grab your copy from the pinned comment or the link in the description and start seeing results within weeks. In my next video, I will be revealing the exact foods that are silently blocking your hair growth from the inside out. And some of them are foods you eat every single day thinking they are healthy. You absolutely do not want to miss that one. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button right now. Share this video with someone who needs it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.